Hello everyone and welcome to this lecture. In the previous lecture, we have been able to learn how function works, and we have been able as well to cover lambda expressions. Let's take a look at kind of an operation. It's what we call it map, which is really powerful. Okay, so let's take a look at the definition first, and let's take a look at an example right away. So the map function takes in a function and a list. The function simply performs an operation on the entire list and return the results in a new list. Okay, what do you mean by this? Let's take a look. So what we could do, we're going to say, okay, let's define a function. Let's say take two numbers. Let's say they are a and b. And the function return the summation. So we're going to return a plus b. Shift enter, here we go. And let's assume that a and b are actually not just values. I wanted to do that operation on an entire list. So I would say, okay, a equals to, for example, 1, 4, 5, 6, and 9. And you define another, let's say, list. And you put in that list 1, 7, 9, 12, and let's say 7. Shift enter, here we go. And what I want you guys to what we wanted to do here is to simply go ahead and perform that operation, simply call that function for each of these elements within my list. So I need to do 1 plus 1, and then 4 plus 7, and then 5 plus 9. What we could do here, we can use the map operation to do that for us. So what I could do here, I'm going to say, okay, map, right? And here I need to specify the name of the function. So I'm going to say summation, which is the name of my function. And I need to pass along what the arguments. So here I'm sending two lists. I'm sending the first list A, second list B. And what I would do here afterwards, which is a little bit confusing, I know, but we're going to cast whatever return they're going to come out of that map. We're going to put it in a form of list. And that should be, let's say, my value of C, which is my return of my map function. All right, let's run it, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Shift enter, shift enter. Let's take a look at C. And here we go. We'll come up with 2, which is 1 plus 1, 2, 4 plus 7, 11, 5 plus 9, 14, and so on. What happened here? So what happened here is we simply use the map operation, okay, or map function to simply take along a function and not a single value. We're actually going to be sending an entire list. Here I sent out A, an entire list, and then B, an entire list, and then we cast whatever return coming out of the function. We'll put in a list format, and that should be my outcome or my output C. Okay, and that's pretty much how can we use the map operation. Again, we use map operation. It takes in a function, it takes in a list, it performs or applies all that function on our list. Okay, all right. So what I want you guys to do is to simply go here, okay, define a new function, and that function is called multiply. Okay, and please use the map operation to multiply these two lists together. So here I'm going to take the exact same operation here. I have, again, two lists, and I wanted to multiply these two lists together using a multiply function, and obviously using the map operation as well. Okay, please go ahead, pause the video, and I will see you guys after the challenge. All right, I hope you guys were able to figure out the challenge. What I ask you guys to do is to simply go ahead in here and use the map operation with the new function that you guys are going to be defining, obviously, to multiply all the elements in here between A and B. Let's see how can we do that. First, I need to define a function, and that function we're going to call it multiply, and that function simply takes two arguments. I can call them, let's say, x and y, and what the function does just returns x times y. And what I need to do is then I need to say, okay, my output, or let's call it C to be consistent, C equals to, I'm going to say list, and then I'm going to say map, and within the map I will send along the name of the function, which is multiply, and I'm going to pass along simply my parameters, which is my two of my lists, A and B. All right, shift enter, here we go. Let's take a look at C, shift enter, here we go. So now 1 times 1 is 1, 4 times 7, 28, 5 times 9, 45, and so on and so forth. And that's pretty much how can you use the map to kind of perform an entire operation or an entire function to a specific list. All right, let's take a look at how can we use the map with a lambda expression, which is, again, way more powerful example. So what I wanted to do here, I wanted to remove that function. I wanted to just have one line of code that does everything for me, which is very, very powerful. So let's define a new list. So I'm going to call it my list equals to, let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to say out underscore list equals to, I'm going to say list is guys the same as we have done before, and then map. All right. And then here I need to simply define a name of a function along with my list, right, which is my array or my list that I wanted to perform the operation on. And instead of calling the function, let's say multiply here, and have a function separately, I can actually use here lambda expression directly. So I'm going to say lambda, I'm going to say I need to send you x, and please return back x square, all right, and do this operation please on my list. That's it. Here we go. Shift enter, and if I take a look at out list, here we go. We come up with 1, 4, 9, and 16, which is simply the square of all the elements in here. All right, so what happened here? So here I simply use the map operation or the map function that we have done before, okay? And instead of defining the function separately here and calling its name here along with the arguments, I can actually just use lambda expression directly, write whatever I want it. Here I'm going to send you x, you return back x squared for me. And I'm going to pass along my list, which is my list in here, to do the entire operation in just one shot, just one line of code. It's really, really powerful. Okay, all right. So what I want you guys to do is to simply take these two parameters. This is our mini challenge. That's our challenge. What I want you guys to do is to simply use lists. Use these two specific lists, which is A and B. We're going to use map operation. We're going to use lambda expression as well to simply multiply all the elements within the two lists. Okay, please go ahead, pause the video, and I will see you guys after the challenge. All right, I hope you guys were able to figure out the challenge. I said, okay, C equals 2. I wanted to do list, and then do map, and then do lambda, right? The lambda simply will take two parameters and return the multiplication of it. So the lambda, we're going to take A, right? And we're going to take B. And the lambda, we're going to return simply A times B. Okay, looks good. And what arguments are going to be sending? I have to specify what arguments I will be sending. So I'll be sending the arguments A, and I will be sending B as well. So these are kind of the two of my arrays in here, in two of my lists in here, which is list A and B. And this is simply my lambda expression. It takes A and B and it just multiply them together. Shift enter. And if we take a look at C, here we go. We come up with 1, 28, 45, 72, and 63. All right. I hope you guys were able to figure out the challenge. I hope it was pretty clear, pretty straightforward. Best of luck. And in the next lecture, I'm going to walk you through kind of another concept. We'll call it filter. Okay. To add kind of a specific condition in here as well, which this is kind of the most advanced for. Once you do that, then you're going to become, like pro, and then we're going to jump right away into exercises. We have tons of exercises for you. Best of luck, and I will see you guys in the next lecture.